Okay, so
3 to 5 minutes.
I'm Owen, and I'm going to be talking about the care of ducklings and the care of goslings. So, for this presentation, I'll be talking about, when I say ducklings and goslings, 2 goslings and 1 duckling. So, I'm going to go through this step by step. So your first step is you're going to want to get your ducklings and goslings. But before you're able to pick up your ducklings and goslings from wherever you're getting them, you need to have a spot ready for them that's draft free, because if they have a draft, it'll kill them. And then you'll need to have your supplies. So your supplies will include a tub to put them in. They grow really fast, so preferably something large. Hopefully it'll fit through your door. A heating lamp bulb, a water, a feeder, food to go with that feeder, some chain, rocks, and you'll need bedding. So for bedding, you're gonna need some moisture absorbent for the bottom, and you're going to need on the top, you're going to need some pine shavings in order so they don't get their area really wet, because those guys like to get their area sopping wet. So after you've gotten all your supplies, you're going to want to squeeze your tub through the door, and hopefully it'll fit through. And if you can screw to the ceiling, that's great, because you can put an eyelet in. You can put a carabiner over that eyelet. You can put chain on that carabiner, and then you can tie the chain to your lamp. That way you can raise and lower your lamp so you can measure up and down their temperature. If you're not able to do that, what you can do is these heating lamps come with a clamp, and you can clamp it onto the side. And then after you've clamped it onto the side, what you'll do is you'll safety it. This way, if the clamp does fail, it'll just be hanging in midair, and you won't have a nice large fire pit. So now after you've done this, you'll want to put your ducks and geese in. You don't need to we haven't gotten the water yet or the food ready yet. So just kidding, we have to get the water and food ready. So it's this 1 gallon water. You screw on the 2-part. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but if you have a thing to shade them over, that you can lay over the tub and it'll provide a little shade, try putting it half and half, so if they don't want it to be hot when they get water, they don't have to be. If they do, they can. And same thing with the food. You will fill up your feeder. Now for those rocks. You're probably wondering what those rocks are for. The rocks are to put in the water so the ducks can't get their beaks all the way in. If they can, they're going to get their tub sopping wet. So you want to change this contraption once a day. You want to change your bedding once a day. And either way, they'll have pine shavings in their water within the first 10 minutes. So you want to change their bedding and water and once a day, unless you want it to get really stinky in there. So after a week or 2, you're going to need 2 1-gallon waters, or 2 gallons, because they go through that. They get that much water in their bedding every day. So to conclude, we learned how to. 1 minute. Okay, we learned how to take care of the ducks and the goslings and duckling, for 2 goslings and 1 duckling, and put in and prepare their area and get them. Thanks for listening. Are there any questions?